Hi, I'm Nora. I'm 34 years old, and for the past 3 years, I've been living in my childhood home taking care of my parents. Mom had early onset Alzheimer's, and Dad's emphysema meant he needed oxygen 24/7. It wasn't the life I'd planned, but it was the life they needed. Nora, sweetie, have you eaten today? Dad asked from his recliner, the oxygen tube wrapped around his ears. I grabbed something earlier, Dad. Don't worry about me. You always say that. He coughed, a rattling sound that made my chest tight. Your mother and we know this isn't easy. Diana should be helping you. Diana has her own life in California, I said, though the words tasted bitter. Her own life? Dad's voice rose slightly. We're her parents too. When's the last time she even called? 2 months ago, maybe 3. I adjusted Mom's blanket. She was sleeping in the hospital bed we'd set up in the living room. But let's not fight about Diana today, okay? The doorbell rang. It was my best friend Rachel, carrying groceries. Hey, you didn't have to do that, I said, helping her inside. Girl, when's the last time you left this house? Rachel set the bags on the kitchen counter. You look exhausted. I'm fine. You're not fine. You're doing everything alone. She lowered her voice. Has Diana sent any money? Any help at all? She sent a card last Christmas. A card? Nora, that's insane. Your parents paid for her medical school. She's a successful dermatologist making good money, and she can't even... Rachel, please. No, I won't please. This isn't right. You gave up your apartment, your job promotion, everything. What has she given up? Nothing. Before I could respond, my phone rang. It was Marcus, my parents' estate attorney. Nora, we need to talk, Marcus said. It's about your parents' will and some recent developments. What developments? Diana contacted me last week. She's asking about the house, their assets. She wants to know what she's inheriting. My blood ran cold. She what? She said, and I quote, I need to understand my financial situation for when they pass. Those were her exact words, Nora. Rachel's eyes went wide. She could hear Marcus through the speaker. She hasn't visited in 3 years, Marcus. Not once. She doesn't call, doesn't help, doesn't even ask how they're doing. But she's asking about inheritance? I thought you should know. Your parents set up their will years ago, splitting everything 50-50 between you and Diana. But given the circumstances, they have the right to modify it. What are you saying? I'm saying you should talk to them. If they want to make changes, now's the time. Your father is still mentally competent, and your mother had the will made before her diagnosis. After hanging up, Rachel grabbed my shoulders. Tell me you're going to do something about this. I don't know what to do. You document everything, that's what you do. Every expense, every hour, every sacrifice. Diana doesn't get to swoop in and take half of everything when she's done nothing. The next morning, I sat down with Dad while Mom napped. Dad, I need to ask you something. Did Diana call you recently? His expression darkened. She called Marcus. Didn't call us. Called the lawyer to ask about money. You knew? Marcus told me yesterday. I was going to talk to you about it. He reached for my hand. Nora, your mother and I have been discussing this. We need to change the will. Dad, I don't want you to feel pressured. Pressured? Sweetheart, you've been here every single day for 3 years. You quit your job. You ended your relationship with Tom because he couldn't handle you being a caregiver. Diana hasn't even sent flowers. Not once. I called my cousin Jennifer, who was a paralegal. Jen, I need advice. What's going on? I explained everything. Diana's absence, the lawyer's call, Dad's wish to change the will. Nora, your parents have every legal right to distribute their assets however they want, Jennifer said. But Diana's going to fight this. You know she will. Let her fight. She wasn't here. Do you have documentation? Records of expenses, care hours, anything? I have everything. Medical bills, grocery receipts. I even kept a journal. Good. You're going to need it. I'll help you organize everything. That afternoon, Dr. Chen, Mom's neurologist, stopped by for a house visit. How's she been, Nora? Dr. Chen asked. Declining. She didn't recognize me yesterday morning. I'm sorry, that must be incredibly difficult. She examined Mom's chart. You know, in all my years of practice, I rarely see this level of dedication. Most families split the care duties, or they hire professionals. My sister lives in California. Does she visit? She hasn't visited once in 3 years, Doctor. Dr. Chen's lips pressed into a thin line. I see. Well, I'm documenting in her medical records that you're the primary caregiver. If you ever need a professional statement about the care you've provided, let me know. Later that week, Diana called. Finally. Nora, it's me. Diana, it's been 4 months. I know, I've been busy. How are Mom and Dad? How are they? Diana, Mom doesn't remember her own name half the time. Dad can barely walk 10 feet without running out of breath. Where have you been? Don't start with me. I have a practice to run, patients who depend on me. Mom and Dad depend on you too. They're your parents. And they're yours too. Not everyone can drop everything and play nurse, Nora. Play nurse? I gave up everything. My job, my apartment, my life. What have you given up? I don't have to justify myself to you. You called Marcus. You asked about inheritance. Silence. Then, so what if I did? That's my right. Your right? You want rights? Then maybe you should have acted like a daughter instead of a stranger. This is exactly why I don't call. You're always so dramatic. Dramatic? Dad asks about you every single day. Every day, Diana. Has Diana called? Is Diana coming? Do you know what that's like? Telling him no over and over? Stop trying to guilt trip me. I'm not guilt tripping you. I'm telling you the truth. Mom had a good day last week. Totally lucid. You know what she said? Where's my other daughter? She cried. Diana. She actually cried. That's not fair. What's not fair is you abandoning them. What's not fair is me doing everything while you live your perfect California life. Get on a plane, Diana. Come see them. Spend 1 week doing what I do every day. Then we'll talk about dramatic. I can't just leave my practice. You can't? Or you won't? I'm not doing this. Her voice turned cold. I'll be entitled to my half of everything, Nora. Don't think you can manipulate them into cutting me out. I don't need to manipulate anyone. Your absence speaks for itself. She hung up. Rachel, who'd been listening, shook her head. She's going to be a problem. I know. 2 months later, Dad passed away peacefully in his sleep. Mom followed 3 weeks after. The grief was overwhelming, but there was no time to fully process it. Diana flew in for the funeral. Nora, she said, approaching me at the wake. I'm sorry for your loss. My loss? They were your parents, too. Our loss. I meant our loss. She glanced around the room. We should talk about the house. Now? At their funeral? When else? I need to get back to California. I have patients. Marcus interrupted. Ladies, perhaps we should schedule a formal reading of the will. That works for me, Diana said. Tomorrow? The next day, we sat in Marcus's office. Diana wore expensive designer clothes and checked her phone constantly. Let's begin, Marcus said. Your parents modified their will 6 weeks before your father's passing. Diana's head snapped up. Modified? Yes. The house and all assets go entirely to Nora. What? Diana jumped up. That's impossible. They wouldn't. They did, Marcus said calmly. Your father made it very clear. Nora provided all care for 3 years while you provided none. This is manipulation. Nora poisoned them against me. Diana, I said quietly, I didn't have to poison them against you. You did that yourself by never showing up. I was busy. I have a career. So did I. I gave mine up. You didn't. You chose to give it up. Nobody forced you. Somebody had to be there. They were dying, Diana. Dying. And you couldn't be bothered to visit even once. I sent money. I paid for some of the medical bills. You sent $2,000 over 3 years. I spent over $60,000. Money isn't the same as showing up. This isn't legal. I'll fight this. I'll take you to court. You can try, Marcus said. But your father was mentally competent. We have Dr. Chen's statement, medical records, and extensive documentation of Nora's care. You have no case. Diana turned to me, her expression desperate. Nora, please, we're sisters. They were confused, elderly. They didn't understand what they were doing. They understood perfectly. I'm sorry, okay? I should have visited more. I should have helped. But please don't do this. That house is worth over $500,000. I need... You need? I stood up. You need? What about what Mom and Dad needed? They needed their daughter. They called for you. Dad asked about you every single day. Mom, even with her Alzheimer's, would ask where her other girl was. Do you know how heartbreaking that was? I said I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't mean anything now. Sorry doesn't give me back 3 years. Sorry doesn't bring them back. So that's it? You're just going to take everything? I earned everything. I was there, you weren't. Diana's face twisted with rage. You're going to regret this, Nora. I swear to God, you'll regret this. Marcus stood. Miss Diana, I'd be careful about making threats. It's not a threat, it's a promise. She grabbed her purse. This isn't over. She stormed toward me, and for a moment I thought she might actually hit me. Instead, she shoved me hard against the desk. You're a selfish, manipulative... Marcus immediately pulled her back. That's assault. I'm calling the police. You do that! Diana screamed. Sue me! Add it to the list! You've already stolen everything else! The police arrived within minutes. 2 officers took statements from Marcus and me. Ma'am, did your sister push you? Officer Rodriguez asked. Yes, she shoved me against the desk. I witnessed it, Marcus added. It was clearly aggressive. Diana was arrested for assault. In court 2 weeks later, she tried to apologize again. Your Honor, I was emotional. I just lost my parents. I wasn't thinking clearly. Judge Morrison looked unimpressed. Emotional distress doesn't excuse physical violence. You'll complete anger management and pay a fine. And Miss Diana, I'm granting a restraining order. You're to have no contact with your sister. After court, Rachel met me outside. How do you feel? She asked. Honestly? Free. For the first time in years, I feel free. What are you going to do now? I'm keeping the house. Mom and Dad loved that place. I'm going to fix it up, make it mine. Maybe turn Mom's garden into something beautiful again. Jennifer joined us. Nora, you did the right thing. Some people think family means automatic forgiveness, but it doesn't. Family means showing up. Diana called me yesterday, I said. Left a voicemail, said she wanted to work things out and move past this. What did you say? Nothing. I deleted it. There's nothing to work out. She made her choices and I made mine. You know what the worst part is? I continued. She still doesn't get it. She thinks this is about money, about the house. It's not. It's about 3 years of watching them deteriorate while wondering why their other daughter didn't care enough to visit. Rachel squeezed my hand. They knew you loved them. That matters. It does. And I have no regrets about the time I spent with them. Those last months were hard, but I got to say goodbye. Diana didn't even get that, and that's her choice to live with. A few months later, I was renovating the kitchen when Rachel visited. It's looking amazing, she said, admiring the new cabinets. Thanks. It feels good to finally make it mine. Mom always wanted white cabinets. Have you heard from Diana? She sent a letter through her lawyer, asking if we could reconcile and maybe revisit the inheritance situation. What are you going to do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. She doesn't get to ignore them for years, assault me, and then expect forgiveness because it's convenient for her. Some things can't be fixed with sorry. Good for you. You know what she wrote? I pulled out the letter. She said, I hope we can find it in our hearts to be sisters again. As if we ever stopped being sisters. I never stopped. She did. That's manipulative. Exactly. She wants me to feel guilty for her consequences. But I won't. Not anymore. Marcus called later that day. Nora, Diana's lawyer contacted me. They're dropping all legal challenges. Really? Yes. They realized they have no case. Your parents were clear, we have documentation, and Diana's assault charge didn't help her position. It's over. The house is legally yours, no more disputes. Thank you, Marcus, for everything. You earned it, Nora. Not many people would have done what you did. That evening, I stood in the backyard where Dad used to sit, where Mom used to garden. The sun was setting, painting everything gold. I called Jennifer. Hey, I just wanted to thank you, I said, for all your help with the legal stuff. You don't need to thank me. You deserved everything you got. How are you feeling? Good. Really good, actually. I'm starting to think about what comes next, you know? Maybe going back to work or volunteering or just living again. That's wonderful. Your parents would be so proud of you. I hope so. I really do. This house represented every sacrifice, every sleepless night, every difficult decision. Diana wanted it handed to her because of blood, but I earned it with love. Some people might say I'm too harsh, that family should forgive. But forgiveness isn't mandatory, especially when someone never truly apologizes for the right reasons. Diana was sorry she got caught, sorry she lost money, sorry there were consequences. She was never sorry for abandoning our parents when they needed her most. And that's the difference. Have you ever dealt with a family member who only shows up when there's something to gain? How did you handle it? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life stories.